Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
Liberty Counsel is advancing religious freedom, the sanctity of human life, and the family in a wide variety of ways through litigation, education, and public policy. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber. We're talking about the partners report that Liberty Counsel has prepared. It is a very detailed report, but it's just simply the surface of what Liberty Counsel has been doing in the last 12 months. Liberty Counsel has been involved in many areas of religious freedom, life and family through litigation, and we've been talking about some of those. Let's wrap up some of the areas of the sanctity of human life, and let's look at some other areas. People may not be aware of some of the other areas in which Liberty Counsel is involved with. Certainly we filed amicus briefs in the Supreme Court decisions regarding marriage, and also we won a major victory, Matt, at the Alabama Supreme Court. We filed an extensive brief there, and the court ultimately held that the word child in the state's chemical endangerment law applies to the preborn, and has a great decision that ultimately lays the foundation for the sanctity of human life, saying that the only aberration to the sanctity of human life being protected in the womb is Roe versus Wade. So this was a great decision that ultimately, I think, begins to continue to erode Roe versus Wade.
In many venues across the country, it's as these things happen sometimes, it starts at the state level and works its way on up, or at the district court level and works its way on up to the federal court level. That in many venues across the country, the jurisprudence is finally catching up with the science. Roe v. Wade really put a gulf between the science, the reality, and the reality of the personhood, and that an unborn child is an unborn child. Now we have an instance where the courts are starting to finally recognize that a child is a child no matter what state of development that child happens to be in.
It was a great decision, and we're very pleased to be able to have some opportunity to have a role in that. And by virtue of our involvement in there, your involvement as well, because without your prayers and your financial support, Liberty Counsel wouldn't be able to be involved in that very significant case. Let's move outside of the litigation. We've talked this week about litigation, and we just touched the surface of the last 12 months. But Liberty Counsel is involved in many other areas as well, litigation and public education and public policy. So we advance religious freedom, life and family, through the courts, through litigation, through education, and through public policy. So some of the other significant events is Liberty Counsel was the primary sponsor of the Awakening 2013 in Central Florida. We had over 70 prominent speakers celebrating the theme, Fighting for the Soul of America. Many people that attended said it was the best event they had ever attended.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the Awakening 2014, Matt. This is a mingling, really, of public or political, public policy, and cultural issues with spiritual issues, which they say that somehow these things are mutually exclusive. They're not, and the attendees at this event were moved spiritually, and also were moved to action from a cultural standpoint.
That's right, and this was a great event, and we also have now done the 10th annual, it's hard to believe, Day of Purity. And this is done in February every year, and this is 10 years that we've done this. It's hard to imagine, but it's designed to educate and to encourage youth to commit their lives to sexual purity. And this is something that has now not only gone throughout the United States, but other countries have been involved in this as well. And again, we launched the 11th annual Friend or Foe graduation campaign to educate and, when necessary, to litigate to make sure that religious viewpoints are not censored at graduation. Again, 11 years of doing that. And then we also launched the same thing, the 10th annual Friend or Foe Christmas campaign. So 10 years on this Christmas campaign. And I would encourage you, by the way, to go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, and download the Naughty and Nice list. We not only have information about the legality of celebrating Christmas in the public square, such as nativity scenes or Christmas carols, or within the schools or within nursing homes or senior living facilities. But we also have the naughty and nice list, which looks at retailers. The naughty list is retailers that profit from Christmas but pretend that it doesn't exist. They don't mention it. And the nice list is much, much longer, and that is those retailers that actually acknowledge Christmas in their marketing and advertising.
And there's good news with this too. And in this day and age, we seem to have so much bad news. But we have seen every year with the Friend or Foe Christmas campaign, the naughty list has gotten smaller and smaller, and the nice list has grown. So your contributions, our listeners right now, and people, supporters of Liberty Counsel, we're being effective. We're getting the job done, and the naughty list is shrinking because retailers are starting to realize now that maybe it's a little disingenuous to reap the benefits of Christmas and not actually recognize the reason for the season.
Well, when it hits their pocketbook, and when you tell them that you like, for example, that they mention Christmas, or they have Christmas songs, or their advertisements mention Christmas, or alternatively, when you tell the others that say you're not going to patronize them because they ignore Christmas, you're going to go to their competitor and tell them why, that makes a difference in their bottom line. And that's why it's been so effective. We also hosted law school students from Liberty University School of Law to the U.S. Supreme Court as part of our 10-week summer program. We've done that every year for the past several summers. And these students work with Liberty Counsel throughout the year, and some of them do this in the summer. And those that do it in the summer, the program, then we take them up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And we are there in the court for the decision days. And then they also get a chance to speak to one of the justices of the court and have questions and answers. So it's quite a great opportunity for these law school students.
What an incredible and rare opportunity to get to meet a Supreme Court justice, listen to a Supreme Court justice, and to actually go to the United States Supreme Court. It's an amazing opportunity.
And we also have the Liberty Center for Law and Policy up in Washington, D.C., and so we actually train students there as well. We work with legislators on Capitol Hill. Our office is one block from the United States Capitol. And then we participated in the 6th annual Teen Pack Judicial Program at Liberty University School of Law. These are high school kids from around the country that spend a week and they learn about law, and Liberty Counsel attorneys are participating in helping to train them as well. One of these young women who was part of this several years ago ended up becoming Miss America. I mean, she was a young lady in high school, ended up participating in the Miss America contest and became Miss America.
And many of these young people who take part in the moot court competition related to Teen Pack and so forth end up having such an incredible experience. And what bright children. I'm always just amazed at how intelligent and ambitious these kids are. But many of them, as they grow up, go through college, they end up going to law school.
Yes, they do. And we launched we participated as a sponsor in the Values Voter Summit in Washington, D.C. earlier this year, and there were close to 2,000 people in attendance from around the country. We also, in addition to our Freedom's Call, which is our 60-second radio program, now it's aired on nearly 500 radio stations around the country, and that has grown exponentially in the last 12 to 24 months. We also launched a 60-second Hispanic radio program as well. It is the version that I do in English, and Dr. Yuri Mantilla is the voice of the Spanish version of Freedom's Call, and that's now being aired on Spanish radio networks across the country.
Yeah, we find that in overwhelming numbers, the Hispanic community is with us on matters of life and the sanctity of human life, certainly, and the family and the sanctity of natural marriage, as well as religious freedom and religious liberty. So this is a wonderful new program.
Well, and we've been involved in many other areas as well. The other thing, amazingly, you might not be aware of, but in the summer of 2013, we filmed the feature film called Uncommon. That will be released in 2014. It's about religious liberty in high schools, and it's about the controversy that ultimately surrounds this particular situation, and Liberty Counsel is intervening. So you'll want to watch that as it comes out in 2014. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, or libertycounsel.com. That's libertycounsel.com or lc.org. Between now and the end of the year, any contribution that you give will be doubled. A donor has given a challenge that contributions will ultimately be doubled between now and the end of the year, so take advantage of this. Also, we have a lot of resources available as well. We have 5 now Patriots Handbook. We have one on Israel, one on the Second Amendment, one on religious freedom in high schools or public schools, one on the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and we also have one on what pastors and churches can do. A series of 5. Order that Patriots Handbook series. You can go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, or call 1-800-671-1776. Thank you for your prayers and your continued financial support.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.